Hello, welcome to episode 1 of Breaking the Fourth Wall. This is the pilot episode. We're coming to you from an undisclosed location inside the United Kingdom. I am being billed from parts unknown like The Undertaker and The Ultimate Warrior used to be. On this podcast, we're going to give you a nice, fresh, alternative view of things that are all involving wrestling. I am a wrestling fan, and my co-host is actually an independent superstar from the Midlands. He does travel around. If you want him, you can watch him on YouTube. If you want to book him for your promotions, then he'll give you all the information a little bit later. We can get the cheap plugs out of the way later. He might even do him in Mick Foley style if you ask him nicely. So I just need to get a couple of disclaimers out there. The views on this show are going to be pretty harsh. Sometimes it might be pretty explicit, so if you don't want your kids to listen to it, if any kids do listen to it, I strongly suggest parental guidance is advised. So if you're easily offended, then this might not be the show for you, because I rant with quite a passion sometimes, which involves quite a few swear words. My colleague's quite friendly. He doesn't rant as much. He's used to the kid environment, but he wanted someone with an honest view, and sadly everyone else was unavailable, so he chose me. So you're going to have to listen to me fucking swear at you for a while.
And there we go already.
So next up, we're just going to cover a few things, which will be the Raw recap, a SmackDown recap. If there's time, we'll cover TNA as well from this week. I have watched it. Sadly, there was nothing much there. And
At least one poor soul did.
Yeah, it was one more than was in the crowd. And then afterwards, Matt Burns will be giving you a recap of the Slam Wrestling event from Edgbaston. For those of you in the States, Edgbaston is a big cricket ground. He's just performed at Edgbaston. He's just come back to us. He's quite heavily bruised, bandaged up. You know.
Yeah, possible with some headaches, but I'll be ready for the next show.
Yeah, so hopefully he'll talk us through that, and after this, we're going to try to do some editorials. Mostly, I think the writing will be coming from me because I have a bit more time available than Matt Burns, because he does a lot of travelling wrestling. So most of the editorials will probably come from me. If he writes one, he should feel very blessed.
I will say though, the editorials will not be a part of the actual show that we're doing right now, or any of the audio shows. They'd be most likely a part of the Facebook page.
The Facebook page, and eventually, once everything's been sorted, the plan is to have an internet page where we can archive them, you can read them. I want to have like a discuss forum underneath them, so like I'm all about
the
response.
Yeah.
Facebook does that, but it'd be nice to have them on a website as well. So the plan is to see how this goes. If it gets receptive well, then we will be setting up the website, which will potentially even do a couple of live podcasts as well.
Hopefully.
But if it goes like technical difficulties that we usually have, because I'm not computer literate and my colleague's supposed to be, but he isn't.
I'm not the best. I'm a wrestler. I'm not an IT guy. I'm a wrestler. Remember?
He says. Right then.
I'm more used to body slams than literally dealing with wires.
Well, as long as you don't release the 24-inch pythons on the keyboard, we'll be all right. So we're going to jump straight in. We're going to go to the Raw recap. So the first matches on Raw were a couple of the IC tournament matches, which I thought about bloody time.
Yeah, about time. Hopefully, if we're lucky, they may actually have the brains out to do this for the US title and actually get Ambrose to defend that damn thing.
No, I'll come to that later, because I aren't ranting off straight away.
I'm already setting him off?
Yeah, the first match in the IC title was to have RVD versus Alberto Del Rio. I miss Ricardo. Raw is not the same without Ricardo coming out with Del Rio.
To be honest with you, it's not the same without him anyway.
You know, he's on the Spanish announce table. I don't want to see someone get thrown at him. I want to see him there with a bucket in his comedy role. Stick him with Santino if you have to, but please, I want Ricardo.
Well, I'm surprised everything's actually got him in the squared circle, because he's actually a wrestler as well.
But he doesn't have that steroid look that the WWE likes with a wrestler.
True.
You know,
but he is a talented wrestler.
he is, but
If you've seen his work, though, of course.
yeah, like if you watch some of his stuff as Al Loco.
Ooh, I like how you brought that up straight away.
If you watch some of that, he's tag teamed with Sin Cara a couple of times, and Rey Mysterio. He's gone against Sin Cara a couple of times. If you watch some of his work, he is incredible.
Yeah.
Like, he isn't just a comedy performer. He is incredible.
Yeah.
But RVD versus Del Rio, jump in at it.
Right, jumping straight into it. I thought it was not bad. It was a nice way of getting RVD into the next, onto the next stage. But nothing jumped out. I thought it was quite bland.
It was a good RVD match. RVD is going to be used as an enhancement talent in this tournament.
True, but Del Rio lost. Which
Yeah.
Wouldn't you say he needed to be enhanced, possibly to go for him to enter?
No.
Or would you say RVD?
If you look back towards 2013, any match that had Del Rio involved in it, before the titles got merged, Del Rio was in the world title or the world heavyweight title match.
Good point.
Del Rio needs to be depushed a little bit, brought back down to earth.
True.
So I understand why RVD's gone through, because Cesaro or Barrett need to push more than Del Rio.
No. As you've just said, I was going to actually bring that up later on, but screw it, I'll do it now. I will state that I do honestly think Cesaro or Mr. Bad News Barrett will take the win of the tournament. One of them.
It depends on which way they want to go, but we'll come to that when we cover Cesaro and Swagger's matches.
And also Bad News Barrett as well.
Yeah, but Cesaro will have a big say. His booking in the next week will have a big say on where the IC title goes.
Yeah, definitely.
Because it should be a good match. I was just disappointed that the IC champion didn't have a match on Raw.
Yeah.
You know, like you got the tournament announcing the title, so why not send out the IC champion to get a couple of wins in before the match at the...
Well, not necessarily. Instead of actually having him in the backstage watching on a TV screen, why didn't they actually have him at ringside?
Because he's got the personality for Foursquare.
He isn't that bad. Come on, if you ever watched him on NXT with his original gimmick,
but this isn't NXT. This is
True.
Raw. This is live.
True. I'm not
NXT. If you made a mistake, you could go again.
True. But I'm not saying that he needed to say anything. Just watch the match. He could just be on the stage to watch the match, because then you know. On a screen, okay, you get in a good view of the match, but it would have looked more serious. I think it would have made it more serious if he turned up personally. That personal touch.
But they achieved the same thing by just having the camera panning to him backstage.
What, with the belt flex a little bit, breathe, flex, breathe.
Yeah.
No.
But RVD, solid match, good match. I like it. If you want to see a good RVD match, I haven't seen a bad one for a while, but that was the way to go.
I have got to say one thing. Alberto with them kicks.
Yeah, and RVD with that frog splash, he could hit that from anywhere. I'm pretty certain. I'm waiting for him to do his 180 reverse one again. I haven't seen it for a couple of years.
Yeah, it's one of them.
He can change 90 degrees, but I haven't seen him do 180 for a while.
It's still scary.
Yeah.
That is scary. He can do that mid-air. But, like I just said, them kicks that Alberto does. When he caught RVD on top rope, I thought, ooh, did he actually catch him? I did wonder myself for a bit. But then it sort of went down the usual route where it was going to be quite bland. You knew RVD was going to take the win.
Yeah.
You knew.
It was one of them. I just feel like Del Rio needs someone with him, because on the mic, the crowd don't listen to him. Like, he doesn't have the threat of a multi-time world champion should have.
And he seems to be trying to borrow off Daniel Bryan. Shouting C before you do your finisher.
But he's done that for a while.
Yeah,
though.
he has. But when did he start it? Was it not long after Bryan started it? Yes. Coincidence? I think not.
Well, if you're going to jump on the Daniel Bryan train, you might as well while it's hot. Looking at you, Eric Young. Looking at you.
Nice touch there. Very nice touch, but at least with Alberto, he's not doing it all.
At least he doesn't have a beard yet.
Exactly. At least he's not doing the full beard, the multiple matches to win a title.
Yeah.
In actual fact, if I recall, he's actually on the losing streak, Alberto, where Eric Young just seems to come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move on. Let's move on before that rank gets out of control.
Cesaro versus Henry. This was incredible. Paul Heyman with Cesaro is unbelievable.
Magic.
It's people aren't sure whether it'll work, whether it won't work.
No. You're saying some people, yeah, okay. Me, yes. I'm saying it is going to work for the simple fact because one, Lesnar's not always around, is he?
No.
Heyman needs somebody always around to be able to talk because from time to time, there's only so many times you can say my client Brock, who's not here anymore. What's stopping while he's talking, saying my client who's not here? What's stopping someone coming down and doing him in?
No, it's Brock Lesnar. I think is due to return at SummerSlam.
No, but you get the idea. No, I'm not saying like it fills that gap where if Brock isn't always there, it makes Heyman still relevant. And by Heyman being there,
Heyman's always relevant.
No, true. But it still makes Brock more relevant.
Yeah,
it's a win-win situation for all three people who are involved.
The eventual plan is to have Cesaro versus Lesnar, which I think could be one of the most brutal matches since Cena versus Lesnar.
I'd actually consider paying. I'd actually consider wanting to go see that myself in person.
Yeah,
that would be an epic match. Because you've got Brock, who's a freak of nature of strength.
The Beast Incarnate versus the King of Swing.
The King of Swing, who I've got to say is one of the... I can possibly say pound for pound, one of the strongest men.
It's between him and Cena. What them two can lift is unbelievable.
Insane. It's insane.
But it was a good match. How many uppercuts can Cesaro hit in one match?
And elbows.
And elbows. And the man is just a fighting machine.
Oh, and I've got to say, I've got to bring somebody involved in this right now, JBL. He had me in stitches straight after the damn European uppercuts. He basically declared that Mark Henry is so hard that he blocked them European uppercuts with his face. How can you not laugh at that?
A perfect one-liner from JBL. JBL's worth keeping around on commentary just for the random one-liners.
As much as everybody said in the past, he is not a wrestling god. Yes, he is. He just never defined where.
He's a commentary god as well.
He is a commentary god.
Cesaro, the way he hits them uppercuts off the rope, it looks like he's about to go for a back elbow off the middle rope, and then he just comes up with the uppercuts. Like... You'll know from training.
I actually do European uppercuts.
From training and matches, but how hard is it to go from the middle rope and then hit someone with an uppercut?
Bear this in mind, I do a running one. And when I hit the elbow, I have to shake it a little bit because it stings. And how many you hit on Mark Henry? And I'll tell you this now, he's got to be a lot more, thicker and harder when he's being hit. It's got to be killing his elbow.
It's unbelievable. Like, he is really the Swiss Superman. And to hold someone up in the neutralizer is
that was
brilliant.
Impressive.
Like, he didn't hold him up for long.
It doesn't matter, but the fact that he got him up and he held him for a few seconds shows his strength.
And kudos to Henry for selling the uppercuts and actually, not trying to block them like some people would. Like, actually taking the shots to sell the uppercut, the brutality of Cesaro.
Correct.
Credit where credit's due. Loved it. Absolutely brilliant, that is.
And what I liked also straight after, instead of the usual ring announcer, Paul Heyman, in Paul Heyman fashion, grabs the mic and even does the King of Swing.
Yeah.
Cesaro.
If you watch Paul Heyman through that, it was like watching Mick off Rocky. Coaching Rocky, going, go on.
You're hurting now, but he's hurting more.
I'm going to teach you to...
literally, I've got to say, Heyman is possibly the best current manager there at the moment.
Either him or Zeb Coulter.
I'm sorry. As much as I will say I am a fan of Zeb Coulter, and I've got to say, as much as he is, I love saying we the people, or some people who I know keep mispronouncing that. Don't know why. Not naming names, but all else, or what they actually mispronounce it with. But Paul Heyman, awesome manager,
Yeah,
amazing.
and he's bringing like legitimacy to like the fight, like the matches. Like if you watch Brock Lesnar versus The Undertaker, he was there shouting at Brock, going, "Go on, he's weak, get him, get him,
get on him." And then what was also so brilliant with him is when Lesnar actually won, the look on Heyman's face. It was like, it wasn't like, oh, I knew it was going to happen. It looked, you could say he knew the results, but when you saw his face, it looked of genuinely shock, as though he didn't expect that to really happen.
It's been reports going around that very few people knew. Like,
it doesn't matter.
Like,
yeah.
One of the reports backstage is there was only three people. It was three people before the match who knew the result, which was Vince, Lesnar, and The Undertaker. Not even the referee knew the result. And if that's the case, and they've managed to keep that quiet in today's era of wrestling, that is brilliant. And if you can keep that quiet, why the fuck can't you keep more stuff quiet so it makes people watch?
Exactly.
We want shock and awe. Vince Russo would have pissed himself, wet dreamed himself at that ending, because that was shock and awe.
It was pure and simple, But let's move on from that, shall we?
Yeah. So Cesaro won with the neutralizer, good and
devastating.
Yeah. So the next match we'll cover. These aren't in any particular order. If you try and follow the order of the matches, I am sorry. I've just done it off the top of my head going through them. So we've got Sheamus versus Swagger.
Oh, I'll say this now. A lot of people have doubted Swagger with the way he's been lately, but my.
Swagger, if he doesn't pull something out the bag, will be the Marty Jannetty of Cesaro and Swagger.
Oh no, I think that's going to happen. I think that's going to happen anyway. But if I'm honest with you, the showing he had against Sheamus.
Or I'll put it this way: Swagger could be the Christian out of Edge and Christian. He'll have a good career, couple of world titles, but he'll always be remembered as the one that tagged with Edge. Like, you'll remember
the second man. But I've got to say, that match, Sheamus,
absolutely brutal.
I'll be honest with you. I expected Sheamus to walk cakey. I expected that. I expected him more cakey, but he didn't. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, didn't Sheamus get knocked around like a rag doll?
Yeah, Swagger looked like he went into beast mode. Like, he was unbelievable. He was building up on like it was like Swagger's snap now that Coulter and him have gone the separate ways from the Cesaro, and hopefully we'll see a nice intense singles push. If you want your US title to go anywhere, why not put it on the real American?
Yeah. Yeah, I can agree with you on that one, because if I'm honest with you, it was just that. What's so good? What WWE seems to keep forgetting with Swagger is when Swagger's got that intensity on the right day.
Swagger is a poor man's Kurt Angle. I'm sorry if anyone disagrees.
He is, but
like, it's Kurt Angle minus the mic skills.
But that's why you got Zeb Coulter there.
Oh, Zeb Coulter's
gold.
Gold next ball. I mean, like, if you watch some of their stuff when they were going against Alberto and Ricardo.
Yes.
Some of them promos were entertaining. If you get a chance to watch the Ricardo and Alberto Del Rio promo against Swagger and Zeb, that is genius. It's funny, but Ricardo carried it. He just had Del Rio going, yes, pizza. I want pizza. So it was impressive.
We've actually got to speed this up a little bit. But as we were on about, this match was brutal. It was physical. And I'll be honest with you, I did not expect the Celtic, the boot,
the bro kick,
from. I expected it, but I didn't expect it that quick.
Yeah, it was nice.
It was literally. He almost made it look like it was the next from out of nowhere move.
Yeah, it's like that's going to be to Sheamus what Sweet Chin Music and the RKO is to Shawn Michaels and Randy Orton. Like you need to be able to let it out anyway. It's a big move.
He did, but with an injured leg, and he sold it straight after, which was smart, clever, brilliant.
Yeah. So the next match is what is probably the internet's wet dream at the moment. I know it made me happy. Was two of my favourite people is Wade Barrett versus Dolph Ziggler.
Big fan of Dolph Ziggler here.
Big fan of Wade Barrett.
But I'm also a big fan of Wade Barrett.
I love Dolph Ziggler as much as the next person.
No, Dolph Ziggler is a bumping machine. He is awesome. He can make anybody look brilliant.
Yeah.
But Wade Barrett with this character lately, awesome.
And as Dolph said, real men wear pink, and
he did.
He does.
He does.
He's ace. Dolph Ziggler is a human highlight reel. Like Barrett again, just showing his bare knuckle background, but getting more wrestling moves in there as well.
Wind of change. When he hit that, and what made it so good is how they got into that sequence. It was clever. It was fast
and clean.
And it was clean. It was clean. It was one of them. There's no denying that. Thud. Over. Next, literally, as he quoted it after the match. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
Yeah, it's an awesome match, and I also loved where the ball hammer came from as well.
Oh,
that was awesome.
Sweet.
Really nice ball hammer. It was made better by he already had his pad down from when he first tried it.
Yeah, and then the fact that when it hit him, you saw Ziggler just go, bump, crumple up, game over, done.
So yeah,
I think he's fine. I think possibly who's he fighting next week now?
If I remember rightly, so the bracket will go RVD versus Cesaro, and Sheamus versus Barrett in the semi-finals.
Ooh.
So if you're a fan of like pound for pound brawling, Sheamus versus Barrett Monday night.
That's gonna be good.
Which that's tonight, sorry. So tonight's Raw.
Tonight.
Which
yeah, because we're actually recording now. It's a Monday.
Yeah, so tonight's Raw, you'll have Sheamus versus Barrett, which will be a battle of the heavy hitters.
Oh yeah, and then we've got RVD versus Cesaro,
which will be a real technical. It could be a technical, but a high flying technical masterpiece.
If I don't see the swing in this match,
yeah, the reason it doesn't hit the swing on guys like Henry, Big Show,
true,
is he's even said this on an interview. Is because it looks messy.
Yeah.
Because
no, I'm saying if I don't see it on RVD, I'll be crying.
But like you don't want to tell us all the time.
No,
it should be a nostalgia move.
True. But have you ever seen RVD in it? You've seen everybody else in it, but not RVD.
I haven't seen the Big Show in it, so I won't see the Big Show in it.
You never know.
He won't do it on the Big Show. He won't do it on Henry. His body type doesn't suit the swing.
True. But anyway.
So the IC tournament, we'll come back to it very quickly. So that's going nice.
The end.
Cesaro.
Oh no, not the end. We've got the Rusev.
Yeah. So Cesaro.
This will have to be a quick one, I'd say.
Yeah, I just want to finish the IC tournament off. Yeah. It'll either be Cesaro or Barrett win, depending on if they want Cesaro and Swagger to continue their feud. If they don't want them to continue the split up and have the match, then Barrett versus
versus Big E.
It's Extreme Rules. If not, Cesaro versus
Unfortunately,
Big E.
I can see more Cesaro.
It just depends which way they want to go with it.
I can see Cesaro more because the fact that he's got a new manager.
Yeah, but I could also see Swagger costing it him.
Oh, good point.
Yeah, that's there. So we'll move on to Ryback versus Cody and Goldust.
Short match. We'll keep this one short. I didn't think much of the results.
You won't keep this short because you weren't a big fan of it, were you?
No, I wasn't.
You know, it's if you like tag team wrestling, I think tag team wrestling.
I am a fan of tag team wrestling.
Has a spot on the card, and
I just think the wrong team won.
Yeah, it's there. It's a good match. Ryback look like they're actually getting a push towards the tag team titles now, which
it was at the cost of the wrong people.
No, Why? Because you want to solidify your number one contenders. So what better way to solidify your contenders than having them beat the former tag team champs?
I just wasn't a fan of it. It just didn't.
Like the Me Too clothesline is.
It's brutal, but
yeah, it's awesome.
I just didn't think too much of it, if I'm honest.
Usos versus the Ryback at Extreme Rules would be a good match.
What?
Give it 10-15 minutes.
What's that?
The Usos versus Ryback at Extreme Rules.
It's a possibility, yeah.
It'll be a good match.
Yeah, potential. I'll have to see how it goes with Ryback. I'm a fan of them individually, but the way they've been lately, they've gone from literally nothing to almost building up.
Yeah, like they've gone from enhancement talent to number one contenders. That's why I'm not happy with it. That. Like, if you want healed number one contenders, why not bring the Ascension up from NXT?
Bingo. And they look like monsters.
Or why not see if you could pull out another heel tag team that are out there? Like, it's dominated by faces at the moment.
Yeah.
Like, I'll give 3-man band a chance at it. You know, make a comedy match.
Don't you mean 2.5? But we'll get to that later.
2.5-man band.
We'll get on to that later.
Heath Slater, you have been replaced by Hornswoggle. Hornswoggle does you better than you could do you.
Anyway, at least he won't be the. He'll never look like the chick from Wendy's.
Thank you, John Cena. The next match that we'll cover, which is actually one of my colleagues' favourite matches because he has a little soft spot for her. Since both of them come from the same wrestling scene over here in the good old jolly England, which is Paige versus Alicia Fox. So I'll hand you over to my colleague to talk you through this.
It's not just that, it's the fact that I know her dad. And I've got to say, that family's got a lot of wrestling history, and that's why I'm such a big fan. The second I knew she was there, I thought, it would be, I thought, yeah, she's going to make it. I expected her, when it came up to the NXT Women's Championship, I expected her to win it. What I didn't expect was her to go straight to Raw, get an instant title shot, and win it there and then.
What I want, just to come across
No, but I am happy she's won it. But I just think, from the way this match on Raw was portraying her, I feel a lot of sorry for her because she is the women's champion. She's beaten somebody who all the other divas couldn't beat. All the other divas at WrestleMania couldn't beat her, AJ, and yet she did it convincingly, reversing AJ's finisher into her own finisher, won it fair and square, and yet she's now being pushed around by all the other divas.
Well, she got slapped around by AJ.
Yeah, she did get slapped around a little bit, but she's the women's champion, the most dominant women's champion. But then come up, Alicia Fox. Alicia Fox was on top of her quite a bit. I don't think Alicia should have been on top of her as much as she should be.
Alicia Fox does a nice backbreaker. Like watching that match, that was an awesome backbreaker.
She does do a good backbreaker. I just think she got too many slaps, little hits in the corner. You go, oh, I'm sorry. It was a bit.
I understand why they're doing it because now she's come up from NXT. She's got to pay dues on the main roster. Yeah. Now she's come in. She's took the title off everyone. Now, how do you think that's made everyone feel backstage?
Oh, true. But
when planning for this, like for the first couple of matches, she's going to get slapped around until she comes in with her anti-diva gimmick again.
I'm not saying that she doesn't necessarily need the anti-diva. I just want her to get more in the match.
Yeah. I understand where you're coming from, but like they need to, like, because she can't destroy the other talent.
No, I'm not saying destroy the talent, but I think what made up for it was the finish.
The Scorpion crosslock is beautiful.
That is just pain.
Right. I don't think she's going to be able to hit it on Tamina at Extreme Rules.
Well, bear in mind, she has got other finishers.
I know, but like that one, she used it again on Friday Night SmackDown against Oksana, but
it's just brutal.
She needs to work on the page turner because she hit it on AJ. And it was a little bit messy.
It wasn't. From my own personal experience, I don't think it was Paige's fault.
But
more.
Either way, both of them need to work on it if they're going to finish.
It's the timing sequence.
Yeah.
You need. Yeah.
But like the Scorpion crosslock looks awesome. But
It's just vicious.
But Tamina's like a big built girl, and
Yeah.
I don't think she'll be able to pick her up in the way that she's picked Alicia and Doxana.
True, but never say never, because there is, Cesaro, the Cesaro factor that can always happen at any time.
Yeah, but
I do think the Page trainer will hit on.
Yeah, I'll go for Paige to win by pinfall in that match.
When it comes round to it, yeah.
My only disappointment with Paige at the moment, I want to see the NXT title out there with her. I want to see the NXT Divas belt out there.
Agree, because she is a double champion.
Yeah, so why not showcase that this is the best we've got of NXT and our main roster?
Yeah.
This is the best of the best.
Best of the best. Cream of the crop.
Yeah.
And I've got to say, brilliant wrestler. Want to be as successful as much as possible, and I just don't want. It's one of
she's coming at the right age. Like they've given her a couple of years in developmental to grow up, to get used to how they work, and now at 21, the world's her oyster.
Bang on, and I can't see it going down. I can only see it going up and up.
Yeah.
Anyway,
moving on very quickly to Rusev versus Xavier Woods, and oh my god, can Lana get any more like Deborah? Like that jacket and that skirt have come out Deborah's
style.
Yeah,
but
have come out like Jeff Jarrett and Deborah's old Woody wardrobe.
True. But there's one difference though. Deborah never had a beast of a. Is he Bulgarian?
He is the Bulgarian brute.
Exactly. Did Deborah ever have a monster of a Bulgarian decimating people left, right, and centre?
Did anyone really watch Jarrett when Deborah was out there?
Who's Jarrett?
Precisely. It doesn't own any major wrestling company that's just starting up a GFW or anything like that.
But here's the thing. It's a nice mix with these pair, because Lana is Lana. But Rusev is a beast.
Yeah, I'm part of me is quite disappointed that Lana didn't come around about the 1997 to the year 2000.
I'm still not complaining, because the view's still good anyway.
Because if she did, I could guarantee that her and Deborah would have a tight skirt and open jackets off, which would be quite entertaining to watch from an Attitude Era's fan.
Fair enough. But Xavier Woods, he just got beat around.
It was about 40 seconds. The match lasted about 40 seconds.
Then R-Truth jumped in before Lana could, stop her.
Yeah.
Bulgaria. And then straight after, all you hear of Lana was Rusev crash. And what happened to poor R-Truth? He got crushed.
Rusev is so quick. Like, he's about 300 £.
Blink and you'll miss the kick.
He is incredibly quick. For someone that's about 21.5 stone, oh my god, how quick is that bloke? And that jumping thrust kick
I know.
is unbelievable. And there's a lot of future. You mentioned the US title earlier. If you don't want to give it to Jack Swagger to build Jack Swagger's character up, give it to Rusev. Just have him have an open challenge like Kurt Angle for a couple of months, and then give him a feud against Sheamus.
And then you got the accolade as well, which is making people tap out seconds.
Yeah, like that is a really good version of the camel clutch.
Very.
Next match, I'm leaving the Usos versus Evolution to the last. We've got Fandango and Layla versus Emma and Santino.
What more can we say about this?
I won't get something. I aren't interested in Fandango now.
Why is this feud still going on?
I aren't interested now. Summer Rae's gone.
Why is this feud still going on?
It's as nice as Layla is.
I will point one thing out.
She isn't Summer.
Did you notice that Santino couldn't use the Cobra because somebody took the Cobra away from her? The only time someone will be actually playing with Santino's Cobra. Oh, sorry, that was a bit un-PG of me.
I'm waiting for Emma to pull out a Cobra of her own from somewhere.
There's so much I can say to that.
I'm waiting for the double Cobra.
or something else.
Like they've got to have a comedy finish somewhere.
Yeah, they're gonna have to do it somewhere. But
I
less of this. Move on.
Yeah,
Match
it
over.
was.
The right person won. Fandango won.
Yeah.
Correct way.
If you can call it the right person won.
You want Santina to win?
I just don't want the match on my television at the moment.
Anyway, moving on.
Is the John Cena promo with Bray Wyatt setting up for Extreme Rules?
Great way to set it up. Great way to continue the feud. And I think with the steel cage, no rules. Bear this in mind.
I reckon Harper and Rowan will get involved in this one though.
True, but this is going to be more of a mind game against Cena, because bear this in mind, Cena had to restrain himself at WrestleMania because it was rules, because of the rules. He didn't want to show B-side.
I didn't want a steel cage because steel cage sort of prohibits weapons from coming in.
True, but
I wanted an Extreme Rules.
How brutal can you be? But that's being used for another team.
I wanted a hardcore match that suited that, because then Bray can see how far he can push John. Like now, he's just got him in occasionals. That's going to happen is we're going to have a couple of bangs against Harper and Rowan will come in and he'll win with Sister Abigail.
Most likely,
to send it to 1-1. And then what's the next what's the next pay-per-view after Extreme Rules?
I think it's Summer.
No, is it Over the Limit?
Might be Over the. I'm not too sure on that one. Off the top of my head.
I think it might be Over the Limit. I'll check on that.
We'll check on that, but that might be a nicely dubbed pay-per-view name if it is.
Which I reckon will be an I Quit match.
That'd be a good match.
Like to finish the rivalry, because it'll be a 3-month rivalry with the finish as an I Quit match. So the next one after that, potentially my favourite return of faction for the last decade. We saw the Usos versus Evolution. We'll start this first. This wasn't the full return, but this was like,
them tagging. It sort of hinted it.
It hinted at it.
Batista does need to drop the. He needs to go to his boots, proper wrestling boots.
What's he wearing at the moment? Is it like trainers with socks?
Yeah, trainers with kick pads or something.
He isn't an MMA person.
Even MMA guys don't wear that.
But Brock Lesnar could probably pull it off, but
Brock Lesnar wouldn't even dare do that.
No.
You wear boots.
Yeah, so it's a physical match. Usos getting some nice flying spots in. I just don't want the tag team champions. The champions, I don't want them being decimated like every week.
Yeah. It didn't set them. It didn't do them any favours. All that did seem to push a certain group that we're about to come up to soon.
Yeah. So we just saw the Shield come in, straight in, and clear house. Roman Reigns with a nice Superman punch on Batista again.
Brutal.
This will eventually go down the route of Reigns versus Triple H, hopefully. If they're doing it properly, that's where it should finish. But I read an interesting article on, I think it was either Lords of Pain or WrestleZone the other week.
Most likely Lords of Pain.
Where one of them was stating that could a member of S.H.I.E.L.D. join Evolution?
Possible, but I'd say the best bet would be
Dean Ambrose.
Ambrose, yeah.
Could Dean Ambrose go and join Evolution? He's better as a heel. As a face, he's kind of boring. Dean Ambrose reminds me, and I've said this many times to you while we've gone for it.
I don't think he's.
He reminds me of Brian Pillman. He needs to have that sadistic side.
He needs to have more of a voice.
Yeah,
which he hasn't been lately.
Keep him as a smart heel.
Yeah,
but with that street style.
The cannibal.
Yeah,
he needs to be the cannibal. But
he's
like
Seth Rollins as a face is perfect.
Roman, he's getting cheered.
Roman Reigns is going to be the next big thing.
He's a beast.
In 5 or 10 years, Roman Reigns will have the same push John Cena's had,
if not more.
Yeah. And then going on to the end of the night,
main event,
which was the Shield
against every heel
against every heel that's had a match
on the night, and it did show the Shield quite strongly, and I felt sorry for Rusev.
I didn't want Rusev there. I didn't want Swagger there. I didn't want Rybaxel there, you know.
It didn't do him any favours.
No, because like most of them got took out by the Shield, and then
But
after
then
they all had to charge the ring.
Number
The numbers
eventually.
game.
And then we had the actual proper faction return.
I have missed that
with
entrance.
the music.
I have missed that
And
theme.
I believe that would be Evolution. And what was so good about it is they even twisted the Shield's usual saying of believe in the Shield. What with?
Believe in evolution. And I'm disappointed if Batista goes off to promote Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm disappointed that the evolution
Angle's not going to get the push.
Yeah, like that could go to Survivor Series quite easily
Needs to.
if done right.
Needs to.
Bring Flair back to manage.
But I don't think they will. They're idiots though if they don't.
Like
Flair's Flair.
Yeah, we all love the Nature Boy. It doesn't
Woo!
matter if he's a heel,
Come
face,
on, that is
tweener.
mine. Every time you go to any show, this is boring. Not just WWE, TNA, Independence, UK wrestling. You chop somebody. What's the first thing that crowd are going to, literally say? Woo! You know it. They know it. Everybody knows it.
Yeah, so it's out there. Like, I was really happy to hear that entrance music again. Like, that is one of the best entrance songs done in professional wrestling.
Didn't think the beatdown dragged on a little bit too long.
Yeah, but Triple H, it's injured his quad from Daniel Bryan's match at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I think it's his quad, isn't it?
It doesn't matter. It happens.
Yeah.
It does happen. But
Like, it's a bit bruised, so I wasn't
Take time.
surprised to not see him hit that many moves, like just the pedigree Ambrose.
I think we should have seen the double team move from Batista and Orton.
We did.
Again. We did.
Yeah, they did it on, I think it was either Ambrose or
Did I
Rollins.
miss that?
You missed that, yeah.
What the hell was I doing at the time?
You were probably wanking or something.
Oi. No. I was probably getting a drink or urinating.
Yeah, so that was just straight up. They did it. I keep on feeling like Orton is missing the come down off the Batista bomb. Like, I think he missed it last week when they tried through the tape. Not last week. On Daniel Bryan. I feel like
it missed a little bit.
Yeah, I feel like they need to practice it first before they go out and do it in the ring, because at the moment it looks like it's that half a second off.
Yeah, it is. And anyway,
so
that's Raw done.
That's Raw done. We probably won't have time to cover SmackDown. I'll try to write something, get it up.
We'll write something. But if you want the quick results of SmackDown, here they are.
Alberto Del Rio versus Big E. Alberto Del Rio, it ended in a pretty boring fashion. It shouldn't have gone that far. Big E ended up after the match getting the upper hand in the big ending on Del Rio. It's, if you're booking it, you need to have your champ looking strong. It shouldn't have gone the way they did. If you've watched it, you'll understand where I'm coming from. Paige beat Oksana in quite a decent match, bit more open-ended.
Thank you.
We had the main event of WrestleMania 31 happen, which was El Torito versus Hornswoggle. Hornswoggle in typical 3MB gear.
2.5.
If you haven't watched it,
you need
please
to see
watch it. It won't be a wasted 3 minutes.
He is replacing the chick from Wendy's.
Yeah,
of 3MB.
He is awesome, and people still don't know this. Hornswoggle has got the longest title reign in recent WWE history.
Cruiserweight.
He's still the Cruiserweight champion.
And yet it's not been brought up.
No, Rusev versus R-Truth in a typical squash match.
Which is sort of a bit like what happened on Raw.
Yeah, Santino got the win against Fandango, and Batista versus Sheamus.
Batista got the win on that one.
Yeah.
Which they needed that for the Evolution
to keep
thing.
it strong. But they were missing the big talent because they're over in Saudi Arabia, which was an interesting tour because no women were allowed to go over, and no women were allowed into the arena to watch the match. So that must have been one of the biggest sausage fests in history.
Right. We're now going to move on to Edgbaston.
So I'll pass you over to Matt Burns.
All I'll say to you is I'm going to mention... I'll talk about 2 of the matches so far, and most likely have a write-up of the actual... of the event.
Yeah, I was there. I will be doing a write-up of the event.
And there will be a write-up, but there's 2 matches. Well, there's 4 all 4 matches are brilliant, but I managed to catch a glimpse of the first match because I was about to follow. I had to follow it, and I thought I'd have a sneak peek.
Good old gorilla position.
Yeah, from the gorilla position, and I'll just say, I have never seen a Razor's Edge done so brutally. I've never seen a Razor's Edge done so brutally. There's a man, 6-man tag, 4 of them are outside. If you see someone get picked up in the Razor's Edge, aiming towards over the ropes, what's the first thing you're going to think of?
A counter.
He's going to reverse this. He's going to reverse this. I'm watching with the same thought, and then all of a sudden I saw him pick him up. He's going to reverse this. He's going to reverse this. Hang on. He ain't reversing. He ain't reversing. Too late. One of the lads got Razor's Edge over the ropes. That is a sight I didn't expect to see. Luckily, he landed on the 4 guys on the outside, and the match continued. My match, chain match. Anybody ever says to you, "Oh, the chains aren't real. They're probably flexible and whatnot." Trust me, they hurt. They are very real. Metal is metal. And all I'll say is, ask my colleague right now, am I bruised?
Yeah.
How bruised would you say?
I'd say at least 30%
Possibly.
is bruised, but if you get a chance to watch the match,
Now,
there's some awesome spots in there.
Now, bear this in mind. You just said how many bruises I've got. I'm the winner of the match. Bear what happened to my opponent. A lot happened. A lot. And I will say that there was certain signs of brutality.
When will it be up on YouTube?
And currently at the moment, they're in talks of getting. I'm in talks with Slam to find out if they are getting it up on YouTube or not. But I wouldn't be surprised even if they don't put it up. I wouldn't be surprised if a leak suddenly popped up from somewhere because the matches were good.
Yeah, it's incredible. If you get a chance to watch it on YouTube, I'd give it a week. So if you check this time next week, there'll probably be a couple of the matches up on there. Like the title match was incredible.
There was 2, weren't there?
Yeah, like
2.
the main title match was incredible. The opener was brilliant, and the chain match, like, you need to watch it. It's like a throwback to watching Abyss versus Raven. Like, I didn't think I'd see some of the spots like that over here, with it being like quite, like, it isn't fully kid friendly, but like they do a couple of kid friendly shows.
Well, yeah,
so,
they do mostly kid friendly, but you wouldn't expect a hanging.
Yeah, so
sorry, that would be my fault.
Yeah, so it was quite a vicious match far as chain matches go in recent memory.
But they managed to up. I think they may even manage to up the viciousness in the street fight.
Yeah.
In the street fight, now bear this man, they went everywhere. They got chairs, they got whatever they wanted.
So if you get a chance and you see Slam coming in your area,
do check them out.
It's well worth the watch.
Do check them out. Well worth the ticket price, whatever they're charging.
And if you manage to see Slam, and Matt Burns is there, please will everyone give him a Sonya Jackson chant. He loves it. And if you can do it in the tune of EastEnders as well, he'd be even more happy.
I'm tempted to hit you now.
Yeah, I might have to feel the burn afterwards, but
you that's it. I'm getting you done for copyright for that.
So if you check that out, it's well worth watching. And then afterwards, we're very quickly just going to answer 2 questions that we've had asked from the Facebook page.
Yes.
It's been up and running now for a couple of days. We've had a few followers. We haven't massively gone out on it yet.
Yeah.
So if you want to follow us, you can follow us at Breaking the Fourth Wall on Facebook.
Yeah, but we'll continue the plugs.
So
after.
if you check out on there. So the first one we asked, which was, who is your favourite valet in wrestling?
Right. So many valets to choose from.
Well, I'll do mine first. If we're going modern era, I've got 2 really. I was a big fan of Michelle McCool.
Oh.
When she originally come in with the Bashams.
Yeah.
I thought it was a good gimmick. Like, she used to be a teacher as well, so she utilised that to good effect. So I thought that was quite good.
It wasn't just the Bashams she did. It wasn't technically the Bashams originally, was it? It was somebody else. 2 others.
I forget it was, but she did the Bashams as well.
Yeah.
She did.
Martyrdom, yeah.
She did Doug and Danny Basham, as far as I'm aware. She was really good. She suited the role quite well.
Yeah.
And she had the look that could distract people, but then allow for the cheap win.
Yeah.
And then after, I'm gonna have to go for Dawn Marie for ECW days. Dawn Marie was very influential in what the Attitude Era came out as for women. She had the attitude, and she wasn't afraid to get down and dirty in wrestling, and she left very little to the imagination. If you watch some of her stuff with Tori Wilson, she pushed the envelope for what was acceptable at that time.
Now, for myself, it's tough to say because I've got two in mind right now. Three actually. One for old school managing. I know you're not going to agree with me on this one. Miss Elizabeth. She's not a wrestler, okay, but she was a valet of Macho Man.
It would have been over without her.
It would have, but bear this in mind, she was in the pop, the boom of at the time of managing. She seemed to be in the right spot at the right time. Brilliant. She was one of the rare managers who never turned heel. I don't think properly. Even when Macho was heel, I don't think she ever turned properly heel. She's one of the very rare valets that have never been properly heel, which I think is a very rare thing. Now for more modern stuff, Sonny. I'm not even making this down to just WWE, to WCW, ECW, anywhere she went. Won a manager. Do you deny that one?
No, she was involved with most of the people that she managed. Supposedly, shagging them helped him to become closer for a working relationship. So
I'm not even going to touch that one.
We won't go into that.
I'm not touching that one. And the other one, she's not in anymore, and it's a shame. And she just them legs. The legs to do it. Stacy Keibler. Tell me.
Stacy Keibler, pretty good choice. I'm disappointed that she didn't come back for WrestleMania.
I'm disappointed in that, but
I was expecting Stacy to come back and even just do an interviewer's role. I know she's pregnant at the moment,
but still,
like 42-inch legs.
There's no denying them.
Her legs are almost as big as my snooker cube.
So much could be said for that. But with that...
And yes, it comes with an extension.
Trust you. Anyway,
and the final one is favourite finishing move.
That's a tough one. That is a tough one for a number of reasons. I don't want to fall into the trap of favourite wrestler, if you got what I mean.
Yeah.
For me, it's stuck between two.
Go on.
One being the Stunner.
Yeah.
Stone Cold Stunner. Austin at that match was over, you know. But there was an exception with The Rock.
Well, Eugene hit that and the match was never over.
I mean Stone Cold Steve Austin's Stunner, not Eugene's. I meant Austin's. When he hit it, it was over. That's what I was on about. Like top wrestler, I don't want to fall into it. But here's one move I regard higher than the Stunner itself, for the simple fact, you knew, regardless of if you hit this wrestling wise or in real life, you know if this move goes wrong, the person's gonna have a broken neck. You would know where I'm going with this, don't you?
The Death Valley.
No. Tombstone Pile Driver.
Yeah, it's a fair move.
Death Valley Driver is a dangerous move, but the difference is they can still land on their back.
I have noticed that none of the smaller guys since Owen, Tombstone,
even attempted.
Like I felt a bit bad for Austin because Owen went for a sit out Tombstone.
Yeah.
And none of the like the smaller guys are about 6'1", 6'2" that weigh about 220. Will even attempt that move anymore that I've seen.
It's a scary move.
I understand why. It's there, but it's an awesome move. Kane and Undertaker have got it perfect.
Perfect.
Just incredible at it. Pretty down well.
Yeah, but that move, if it went wrong, the person would definitely know that for sure. Definitely, it's a match. It's a move that regardless of what happens, it's over.
Yeah, I can see that.
In fact, if I recall, it's actually even ended a career, very popular career.
Yeah, we won't go into that.
We'll save that for either an editorial or possibly.
No, I drank quite a lot of vodka when that happened.
What's your favourite move?
I've got quite a few. If I was going for submissions, I'm a big fan of the Indian Deathlock.
Oh, nice.
I like the Indian Deathlock, but I also like the Go-Go Porter a bit more. Hell's Gate. Like, as good finishing moves, like nice finishing moves, look painful. If they're not done properly, they can hurt properly as well. So it takes a special kind of individual to do them. But if I'm going for my all-time favourite wrestling move for finisher, I've got two. I'll do two. If I'm going like proper mainstream, Sweet Chin Music, the super kick.
Oh,
it could be it from anywhere. Shelton Benjamin sold that beautifully with Whiplash.
Yeah.
And if I'm going from TNA, I'd have to say the Elevator.
Oh yeah.
Matt Morgan being 6'10", hitting that down on people, that was impressive.
You know what? I'm actually quite surprised that as another move from TNA that hasn't popped up.
Oh, the Canadian Destroyer.
Yeah.
What a move.
Both of us will join in with that. That's just devastating. That just screams.
So
dead.
you've had our individual favourite finishers and the breaking the fourth wall finisher. Favourite finisher is the Canadian Destroyer.
It's got to be.
Like if we're both going to agree on a wrestling move that
Canadian.
looks the part, it's the Canadian Destroyer.
Exactly.
Or the Pepsi Plunge.
Oh, but
we could be here for a while talking about that.
We could.
I'll leave that there.
All I'll say is the person who's doing the move still, they've got to have some good knee pads for that move.
Yeah, but sadly he's took his ball and gone
home. Anyway, moving on to, as we said, cheap plugs.
So have a nice day.
Oh, funny. We're now on cheap plugs right now. Right, moving on to cheap plugs, we've got the Breaking the Fourth Wall page on their Facebook, which you literally just have to put in on Facebook, Breaking the Fourth Wall, and you'll see our logo, you'll see the pictures, you'll see a certain cover picture that my my co-host partner has picked. If anybody would like to post in any captions, please be our guest. But we, if we do actually pick it, the winner will get picked to put on it. Unfortunately, no prizes can be given at the moment in time because this is quite costly.
Yeah, and then also we have Twitter, which is at Wrestling's Fourth Wall. I
know.
Yeah, I was a bit disappointed that Twitter only allows you a certain amount of characters. Twitter's always active, so if you want to get hold of us, it's always active. I always have it on me. If you follow us at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, I will know because it wakes me up. So if you ever get bored and you want to ask a question, if you're lucky enough to wake me up at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, I'll answer you as nicely as I can.
As for the YouTube page, which you're most likely hearing this off from, you'll know it's probably either going to be Breaking the Fourth Wall or along the lines. You'll know where it comes because you're listening to it now.
And you can also follow my colleague, and I will do the pleasure of this because I know he hates it when I do this. You can follow my colleague at the bad boy that is Matt Burns. So if you look for Matt Bad Boy Burns, you can find him on Twitter. You can find us both on Facebook. If you just contact us, we're both on there. We're both easily acceptable.
Yeah.
Or if you want to email us some questions, we're actually on Outlook as well, which is BT4W.
Yeah.
At outlook.com.
Outlook.com.
I had to think about that then.
And the last plug for me is my Facebook page would be at Matt Burns UK.
And he also has if you want some Matt Burns merchandise, you've also got a normal website that sells Matt Burns website.
Not at the moment yet, but there is soon going to be one. But that'll be mentioned on the Facebook page. There is a YouTube page which is Matt Burns TV. But anyway, we're now getting really close to the end of this show. So as of right now, we're going to have to sign off, I most likely say. So that's a sign off from Matt Bairns.
And this is an hasta la vista from Nathan Goff.